Hi, this is Julia Espy, and today I'll be sharing with you one out of the 5 things that great dads never do from ifiwereyourdaddy.com. Great dads never play bad cop. Now think of the image of the bad cop in the movies. What are they like? They're usually the ones that no one likes. They're so unfair. They are bending others to do what they want. They make the rules and they force others to live by them, usually against their will. And that's the key. Bad cops do things against other people's will. Well, a bad cop dad doesn't look too different. He creates the rules in the family and his kids have to live by them, whether they agree with them or not. So when kids obey, it's because they have to, not because they necessarily want to. And as a result, at some point, maybe as teens, they'll be likely saying, "He's not fair. He doesn't understand me. He's so controlling." And as kids grow up, they push against rather than work with you. So here's what great dads do instead. Rather than rules, they make agreements with their children. They get willing partners, the happy, cooperating kind of partner. I interviewed Dr. John Gray, author of the bestseller Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, and he taught me a masterful, easy way to get kids to cooperate. And guess what? I tried it out on my son that night. I wanted him to go to bed early. I could have said, like I normally would have, "You're going to bed early tonight and that's that. No arguments, please." And there would have been an argument. He would have stalled. There would have been a battle of the wills, like normal in our house. Instead, I followed John's advice. I said, "Honey, I know you don't want to go to bed early, but it's really important because you've been up several nights in a row. Tonight's the night that you make up your sleep." Then I said, "Well, what if we read 2 stories instead of 1? Or what if we go to the park tomorrow? It can be your choice. Then will you go to bed early?" See, I had decided on something I could easily do, like John told me to. Some benefit to my son that's preferably not food related. And lo and behold, he ran to his bedroom saying, "I want to go to the park tomorrow," and he jumped into bed a whole hour early. No fighting, no complaining, and he was excited about it too. I was like, wow, this really works. John told me that children are naturally hardwired to cooperate. Their survival depends on it. And when parents know this, they can create win-win situations for everyone. So here's another example how great dads negotiate with older children. International speaker Terry Tillman wanted his teenage daughter home on the weekends by 10 o'clock p.m. She wanted to stay out till 2 a.m. There was quite a difference. He could have just said, "Honey, that's the way it is. You live in my house. These are the rules." But he didn't do this. He said, "Well, here's the reason why 10 o'clock's important to me. It's safer, there's less drinking and driving, and I can't go to bed until you're home." She responded with, "Yeah, but 10 p.m., Dad, come on. All my friends get to stay out later than that." So together they came up with an in-between time, a time that they can both live with. They settled on 12 p.m. He just didn't stop there. He said, "Well, what if you're late? What if you come in at 12:01 or 12:05? What's going to happen? What are the consequences?" So again, together, they made up an agreement of what the consequences would be if she was even 1 minute late. Then he says to her, "So, honey, we have a deal now. Do you understand everything?" She said yes. "Do you agree to it?" She nodded. And then, of course, they settled on the consequences. So whether your kids are young or old, the 3 questions are, do you understand? Do you agree? And what are the consequences? Great dads never play bad cop. They just don't need to. They know it's far better to get their kids' cooperation. So they get consensus, they get agreements, and instead of becoming the enemy, you become their partner. This is Julia Espy for ifiwereyourdaddy.com.